Hi, this is Neil Walters. In this video, I want to show you how you can buy ERC-20 tokens. So what is that? A lot of companies these days that are issuing their coins or tokens are doing so on the Ethereum blockchain. And there's a standard that was created called ERC-20. And many different types of coins are being created using that standard. So what I'm going to show you to do is how to buy any one of those coins using some common tools. So what we're going to start off with is use the browser or the wallet called Parity. So here I'm just going to search download Parity Wallet, and of course make sure you download it from the original source. You don't want some bootleg copy of it. So this is parity.io is the main website, and click Get Parity. And then come over here, scroll down and pick your operating system. I'm on Windows, so I'm going to download it, and then I'm going to come back and install it with you. Okay, so the install was rather obvious. You just click like next, finish, that type of thing. And now I'm done, and you just click close on it, okay? Okay, so this is the Parity app. It looks like it's running in some little browser, but it's apparently a browser they install on your computer for you. And this gives you some kind of a URL up here, and we're just going to walk through their steps now. Okay, it says basically we're going to this is the simplest way to run your node. So you're going to be a node on the Ethereum network. So we're going to click next. You are responsible for your computer security. You know, this is true anytime you're using any type of wallet. You need to back up your keys and all that kind of stuff, and you want to make sure you're not hacked and so on. So you know, there have been people who have lost their coins if they're not careful. So, you know, be careful and read all their different warnings and make sure you do everything the right way. Okay, looks like we have to scroll down through all this legalese stuff here. See, this next button was not available until you come down here and click I accept these terms and conditions, and then click next. So I need a descriptive name for the account and a password hint. And then I'm going to have to give it a password and verify it. Now this is, of course, is a password you don't want to use, and it needs to be strong, which means basically the more letters it is, the better. So do not use like a 6 or 8 or 10 character password, probably 32 bytes or more, just for example. Let me just show you some examples. Okay, so I just opened a little notepad tool, and I created my password @21, and I'm going to put that here and here, and you see it's not red, it's in the yellow range, and I think what you're going to have to do is get it in the green range. So just as another example, so I'm going to enter one that's a little bit longer here, and now you see we're in the green. But I would even go with one longer like this if possible. You know, you want it to be as long as possible. And since you're going to probably save it somewhere else and copy and paste it, it's not going to really matter how long it is, right? Because there'll be hackers out there who will try to randomly create passwords, and if your password is like under 10 characters or something, it's not hard for them to eventually, you know, create that same password, or even by chance another person in the world could come up with the same password if you use English words and numbers and stuff like that. So you want to make sure you have some nonsense letters and stuff in there. And let me show you a way sometimes I use to generate passwords. I use a tool called RoboForm, and it's in my browser. Let me just drag it over here just a second. So here's my Chrome browser. Here's RoboForm. I click generate, and you can actually tell it here how many characters you want to generate. So if I say here, for instance, 30 characters and click generate new, it'll give me a nice huge password. And just to show you what that is over here, that's what it looks like. And so there's very little chance anybody else in the world would ever come up with something as goofy as that. Now, when you want to save that password, that's a whole nother issue. Where and how are you going to save your password? And maybe I'll make a separate video on that. I want to keep this video down on how to get your ERC-20 tokens. So I'm going to go off video for a minute and make a real password, and I'm going to fill out this form, and then we'll meet back on the next screen. Okay, well, I actually messed up, and so I'm going to just show you what it shows here when you create an account, and I'm going to go back and create another one later. So this is one I'll just get rid of or something. I'll never put any money in this one, right? Because now everybody in the world is watching it on this video. And that's what you see. I think this is your address you'll send your Ethereum to, which we'll do shortly. It says, congratulations, your node has been set up. You're ready to use the app. Next, you'll receive a walkthrough of available functions. And gives you kind of a little tutorial here. So you can have multiple accounts, actions relating to the current view. Your accounts are visible for easy access, and we're done. Okay. So this is my main account here, and it has 0 Ethereum in it, and you can see that's the same number that was on the prior screen. And so again, that's that's the one I just showed you my recovery password to. So I'm going to go create another one now. And by the way, to create another account, click this plus sign here, and then you'll see new account. Click next, and the screens will match pretty much what we saw earlier. Okay, now the first time I use a new wallet like this, I usually send a small, very small amount just to make sure everything's working. So I think this is the copy button here. And there, by the way, there is something called copy paste viruses. So we're going to go paste that into my Coinbase account. So let me show you that. So here I want to use my Ethereum. Okay, so I click wallet, ETH. And I want to send one Ethereum right now is almost $300. So a tenth of that would be $30. Maybe even 100th of that would be good. So 0.01 Ethereum, 100th of an Ethereum. And let's just put this test transfer to Parity Wallet. In this case, my fee is going to be this, and I'm ready to send funds. Now, when I was talking about the copy virus, what you want to do is make sure that the wallet here matches what got pasted here. Because what these copy paste viruses, I've heard, what they can do is you copy one wallet and then they'll paste someone else's wallet here. And then when you send the money, it's going to go to that hacker's wallet, right? So you just want to make a quick check here and make sure, like here we see 06752, blah, 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 and it ends with D77, right? And here we have D77. So we look good to go, and we're going to do send funds and confirm. 0.01, blah, 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 Ethereum. Now the reason it's more than 0.01 is that's the transaction fee, and I hit confirm. And now we'll find out how fast Ethereum really works. I'm going to go back to my Parity Wallet here and go to my account. And what I need to do now is wait till that money appears here. And I'll come back later and I'll let you know how long that took. Okay, so I'm not even sure I had to refresh. It only took about a minute actually. And now you see 0.010 Ethereum. 100th of an Ethereum is in my Parity Wallet. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we need to use an exchange to buy some other token. So I will do the same thing. I will make a very small purchase on some exchange just to make sure I understand the process, and then I'll repeat the process with the amount of money that I really want to invest. Okay, the next thing you need to do is find an exchange where you can buy your token, and I'm going to try this one called EtherDelta. I've heard some people say it's not that easy to use, but there are others, but I'm just going to try this one anyhow. So now I'm going to have to create a new account on EtherDelta. So I'm going to click New Account. And obviously, since it just showed the private account, I can't use that one. So I'm going to have to do it again off the video. Okay, so now I want to explore the token. So I'm going to go here to the token screen, and I'm going to scroll down until I find EMV. So the one I'm looking into buying right now is, let me show you this one, Ethereum Movie Venture. And this was a new company or a new venture that a friend was telling me about. And they're basically creating movies where the people who own the token are going to choose the movies, and the money made from the token will be used to produce the movies. And then the people who own the tokens will make the proceeds from those movies. And the first movie is the Pitt Family Circus, which I don't know much about that, but anyway, this guy thinks it's really going to go big, so I'm going to invest in it. So it says here, the following address is for the token contract. It is not a deposit address. Do not send tokens to it or it will be lost forever. Sounds like an important thing to know. To deposit, use the deposit form in the upper left. Enter the amount you want to deposit and press the deposit button. Okay. Okay, so now we have our wallet set up here. The first thing we do is we're going to go over here and we're going to get our public address, and we're going to send some ETH to EtherDelta from our Parity Wallet. Okay, so back to my Parity Wallet. So technically I probably could have gone from Coinbase maybe straight to EtherDelta, but anyway, since I sent my money here or my coins here, I'm going to try to send it from here. So now we're looking for how to transfer from Parity to EtherDelta. Okay, so there's a little arrow here, and that arrow means transfer. It'd be nice if they had maybe a tooltip or something over that. So you click the transfer button, how much Ethereum you want to send, and then the recipient address is going to be my public address for my EtherDelta wallet, and then how much I want to send is also there's going to be another transaction fee here, so I might actually lose a little. I might have to do like 0.009, right? Because I'm going to lose a little every time I transfer it around. And so I'm going to click send now. And do I want to confirm this? Looks like I'm going to have to put in, let's see if I don't put in a password. Yeah, it says you have to put in a password to be able to do that. So I think that's going to be my private key. So I'll paste that there and then come back after I've finished that. Okay, so it's off and running. It says the transaction has been posted and we're waiting on the confirmations. I'll give it about a minute and come back to you. There we've got 1 out of 10 confirmations. There's 2. So now I'm going to go to my EtherDelta account and see when they recognize the money is there. Okay, we're in EtherDelta, and you can see here now I have 0.009 Ethereum. And this is the token that you're dealing with. So earlier I showed you this token screen, but what we need to do is come up here. See this pull down? We want to set to the same token, which was EMV, Internet, or Ethereum Movie Venture, EMV. So just to make sure I know what I'm doing, I'm going to go to Google and type in EMV price chart, and we're going to find out what EMV is currently selling at. And you can see here it should be about 58 cents a token. Okay, so when I come back to EtherDelta here, where do I see the 58 cents? That's what we have to find. Okay, I scrolled up the screen a little so you can see everything. I put here the price I wanted to pay, but it's in Ethereum, not dollars. So 0.589 I think was the US dollars. So we have to be some mathematicians here to figure this out. So we went back over here to the price chart. By the way, you can zoom in here on on the current day, like doing like this. And here we see the price in US dollars and Bitcoins, but what is the price in Ethereum? Okay, so we're still on the Coin Market Cap website, and then right here, you see this is the Ethereum price, 0.0019, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to take that now, and see it says here before, when I put in a huge price, it says your order is in cross with the best sell order. So the best sell order is for 0.0017, and let's compare that to what we see here, 0.0019. So we're going to be able to buy it at 0.0017, which is, I guess, currently under what they're calling the market price here, right? So I'm going to just take this number here, 0.0017, and type it in, 0.0017. Now, how many can I get? So I'm going to pull up a calculator here. So when you make a transaction on Ethereum, it always uses gas. So I'm going to use a little bit under here. I'm going to use 0.07. So I got 0.009 Ethereum here. And I want to know for that, how many of these tokens can I buy at 0.0017? So let's divide that by 0.0017. I should be able to get 4 of them. So let's do that. Let's buy 4 tokens at that price. And let's see, what is the expires? Okay, so if you mouse over the word expires here, it says this is the number of Ethereum blocks until the order automatically expires at 14 seconds per block. So just for instance, I may not want to wait that long, so I might want my order to expire a little bit sooner. And if you want to make sure your order actually gets faster, of course, you could just put a higher price here, right? And you're going to come up ahead of other people wanting to buy it. But I'm just playing, this is my first time, so I'm going to put 0.017 and I'm going to hit buy. It says you do not have enough funds. Please deposit first. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I must have made a math mistake here. Okay, it said I had to deposit first, so this is kind of new to me. So remember I transferred money from Parity to here, so the money is in EtherDelta, but it looks like I have to deposit it into this trade. So I'm going to take that 0.009 Ether and click deposit. It just says you tried to send Ethereum transaction, but there was an error. That's confusing. Okay, I'll show you later. There's a Reddit thing I'm following to do this. They say to make sure you leave some funds behind for your gas fees. So I'm going to go with the 0.007 here. Let's see if I can deposit that. All right. So what apparently that does, it transfers from your wallet on EtherDelta to a smart contract for trading whatever token you've put up here. So now, what the heck, I should probably copy this just for fun. Okay, so now I'm going to try that trade again. So I think it was 4 EMVs at 0.017. I accidentally, I think, typed a comma instead of a period there. So 0.0068, which is less than the 0.007 I just put in. And now it says what? Your order is in cross with the best price. Okay, I mistyped the price here, 0.0017. Okay, let's try buy. Okay, it says you sent an order to the order book and your order was received. So now we just have to wait on that transfer to happen when someone is out there trying to sell their EMV. Oh, and see, I think this is my order right here. So I think the greens are the buy orders and the red are probably the sell orders. And so there's a buy order for my 4 EMV tokens at this price. And see, since my price is higher than this guy's price, mine, I think, will run before his does. Now, I guess if you want to make the trade happen immediately, what you'd have to do is look at all the sell orders here and then find the lowest price someone is willing to sell for, which actually it's the same amount, right, that I put. So it looks like within a few seconds here, my trade should match this guy's trade, and he will sell me from his stash of tokens into my account. Now, after you put in your orders, you can see them right here under this orders button. So that's the current trade I have running. You can see how many blocks have run. Remember, I started, I think, at 1,000. It expires after 1,000 blocks. So 8 of those blocks have already run. So there's 992 blocks left. Just right now, I'm going to give you my thoughts. I think what I'm going to have to do is if I want this to happen faster, I have to find this guy here who's selling 4, and I might have to put in his price because I'm not sure it will match like my 4 out of this guy's 3,116. I don't know if it'll do that or not. We'll have to find out here. Okay, let me show you another trick now. There is a website called EtherScan. If you search for that, you can go there. And then they gave me basically another type of address that I can paste in up here. And when I paste that in, this is actually my transaction address. And so you can see here, I've got 22 confirmations, I guess, for my transaction itself. It was put in 7 minutes ago from here to this contract. Now, this contract is an EtherDelta contract, which is what they use to do the trading. So anyway, it's interesting to see that anybody could see this transaction using this tool because it's basically public. Okay, I'm still new to this, and I just Googled and I found another entry in Reddit that says EtherDelta does not automatically match buys and sells. If you want to buy, you have to click on an order or someone has to click on yours. So I'm going to try to click on this guy's order here. Okay, let's just try clicking buy, see what happens. Who knows? It says you just created an Ethereum transaction, track its progress. Now this is a link, by the way. If you just click here, open a new tab, it goes to that EtherDelta page, EtherScan page like we were looking at before. So now we'll see what happens over here. Okay, so far the only thing I noticed difference is the orders now. My order has disappeared off this screen, and now it's under the trade screen. So I think it's getting ready to happen. By the way, if you have multiple trades here, each one has its own little transaction. And when you click that transaction, it will open EtherScan to the page of that transaction. So you can see how many confirmations you have here and that kind of thing. Now, what it's waiting on right now to actually do the trade, I don't know. What I'm anxious to see is right here when I actually see my 4 tokens of EMV show up in my wallet here. So you can see here there are 3 columns: deposit, token, withdraw, wallet, transfer, EtherDelta. So here I had 4.1 in my EtherDelta, and now I have 4.1 in my wallet, but still the same EMV token. Okay, so instead of the withdraw screen, now I want to be on the transfer screen. And you can see the screen changed a little there. And so I want to take my 4.1 Ethereum, and now I should be able to put my address where I want to transfer it to. So I take my public address of my Parity Wallet and stick in here. I'm not sure what address that is actually, and it was there before. And let's do transfer. And of course, that's going to give us another Ethereum transaction. If we go up here, we can watch it, get its confirmations and so on. Okay, I've been refreshing the screen a few times, and this seems wrong. It says 18 seconds ago. It seems like it's actually taken about 3 minutes. I'll hit refresh again here. So I guess that's the timestamp of the confirmation, the first confirmation. So now that we're getting confirmations, if we go back here, you see the 4.1 is gone out of my EtherDelta wallet. So now I'm going to go to my Parity wallet, and hopefully it'll be there. Okay, so we're here. We're back into Parity. And remember that this wallet can contain multiple types of tokens. I guess each token has an icon. So I have 0.001 Ethereum, which is a small amount I kept just for gas and other usage. And here's my 4.1 EMV tokens, which has a little movie director symbol there. So that is now in my wallet. This, of course, is my public key. You're welcome to send me money there, thanking me for this video. And now we have our EMV tokens here. And we've done our first investment in EMV using totally internet platform, no humans involved. All this was done by smart contracts running on Ethereum, which is kind of cool. How much was the transaction cost? Well, is these little gas fees. So, we can actually go back to any one of these transactions and see what the fees were. So like on this screen, you can see your gas fee is this much Ether. And I mean, that is just a small amount. And then here's your actual transaction cost, which is like 4 cents, right? So we actually traded a token there, and it cost us 4 cents to do it. And now that we know how to do it, and I've learned with you here as we've gone through this video, I'm now confident that I can make a bigger investment, right? So now I'm going to go back and I might buy more money or use more Ethereum to buy more EMVs now that I know the process works. So let's just recap what we did. I went to my on-ramp, which was Coinbase. I sent my Ethereum here to my Parity wallet. I then sent some Ethereum from my Parity wallet over here to EtherDelta. And on EtherDelta then, I had money in a wallet, and then I had to deposit it apparently into like a smart contract or something inside of EtherDelta. And from there, I was able to make a trade. So I went over here and I found the cheapest buy order, right? And I placed a buy order for 4.1 EMVs, which is almost the whole amount of money I had, all the Ethereum I had. And then that trade took place. It came over here into this balance, and I had to withdraw it into my general EtherDelta wallet. And then I had to use the transfer function to transfer it out back to my Parity wallet. So the point is, you don't want to leave your Ethereum hanging around in this EtherDelta wallet. I think it's not run by people, so it's probably safe. But there are these things called smart contracts here, and you notice this is the current one they're using, and over time they enhance it. So they tell you here, if you're using this one, you should withdraw your funds from that one and put it in the next one. So that's how they upgrade their logic over time, is they basically deprecate or get rid of the old smart contracts, and they encourage you to upgrade to the new ones. And now I've got just this small amount of Ethereum left over here, which is probably like 2 cents or less. So I'm not really care if I leave that there or not. I can leave it there so it'll be there for my future trades. And then again, I went back to my Parity contract and I saw my funds there. And again, there's my 4.1 EMV. So I will have the steps of this video outlined, and I'll put it on my website, which is cryptobb.com. And hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be making more in the future. And of course, there's other wallets you could use, and there are other exchanges you could use. So this video covered Parity and EtherDelta to buy the EMV tokens. So check the notes below the video on my website, cryptobb.com. I'll put the name of the website below this video.